In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration which happened when Quirinius was governor of Syria. Those are familiar and well-loved words opening the Christmas story in the Gospel of Luke. They are associated with joy of Christmas, but behind these words is hidden a major and violent upheaval. What seems like an innocuous dating remark about census was actually a bitter grievance and a decade-long guerrilla war. It was started and led by Judas the Galilean, and his resistance movement was called the Zealots. How could a census lead to a guerrilla war? Because an ancient census was not primarily about better governance, but about collecting taxes. In fact, one of the most unjust form of taxes, per capita tax or head tax. I explained that to our children in Sunday school with the use of pasta. So it is a per capita tax. Everyone pays the same. A rich person pays, say, 10 pieces of pasta from his several boxes of pasta, and a poor person also pays 10 pieces from his one handful of pasta. Both paid exactly the same. It looks just. But the rich guy has plenty left, and the poor lost a third of his dinner. These are the tricks which some politicians play with taxes. It looks like a just arrangement. It looks like a good deal. All pay the same, or, for instance, in our most recent history, all receive the same tax cut. But in fact, it is utterly unjust and unfair. Judas the Galilean quite rightfully protested, calling this tax not better than slavery and a means to take away the nation's liberty. And because of this census and taxation injustice, he started a 70 years long guerrilla war against the Romans and their unjust ways. And that is something you might not know about the Christmas story. In worship this Sunday, we will search for hope in the midst of such injustice and bureaucratic abuse of power. And we will look for it from the perspective of pregnant Mary traveling to Bethlehem in her third trimester. So come and worship with us on this fourth Sunday in Advent. And now for those who watched this far and are interested in a few more details. The Gospel of Luke is referencing historical figures and events, but their rendition and its historical accuracy is somehow problematic. So, for instance, Caesar Augustus did indeed begin the practice of a regular periodic count. In Latin it is census, in Greek it is apographe, of the population of provinces of the Roman Empire. But it never was a universal census of the entire empire, let alone all the world, as it is written in Gospel. Secondly, Publius Sulpicius Quirinius was a Roman aristocrat and very successful politician / administrator. He indeed was also a governor of Syria, but his dating for that governorship there does not fit with the rest of the Gospel of Luke by about a decade. Another example, Roman census involved the counting of the population and valuation of individual as well as corporate held property. But it did not require a return of individuals to their ancestral homes. So, primary reason for this text is theological, not historical. Biblical prophecies predicted that Messiah was to come from Bethlehem, while everyone knew that Jesus was from Nazareth. The evangelist Luke therefore created this story about the census travel to explain why and how Jesus of Nazareth could come from or be born in Bethlehem and thus fulfill that ancient prophecy. The author of Gospel of Matthew had the same problem and solved it differently. Jesus' family was originally from Bethlehem, but escaped from there to Nazareth through Egypt. Thus, indeed, the primary focus of these nativity stories was theological. They confirm the fulfillment of biblical prophecies and rebuff adoptionism. Jesus was not adopted to be Son of God at any later stage because of his special character or special spiritual achievements or perfection. He was Messiah from the moment or even before the moment of his birth.